Onward, men! For Roman glory!
Many have wondered why Rome was so ruthless. Well, let me take you back in time. The Roman Republic was not a likely contender for imperial power in the 4th century. Yet its relentless fighting spirit and refusal to accept defeat enabled Rome to subject Samnite tribes and Greek colonies to its rule. Control of southern Italy would prove a springboard for wider empire. Rome was not born great. It was not destined for empire. It did not begin as a master of nations. It began as a village, small, vulnerable, surrounded by enemies. In the early centuries of the Republic, Rome was something far more dangerous than powerful. It was aggressive. From the moment the monarchy fell and the Republic was formed, Rome lived in a constant state of war. The young Republic did not retreat behind walls. It marched outward. It fought the Latins. It fought the Sabines. It fought the Etruscans. Every neighboring people became either ally or target. But Rome's aggression was not reckless. It was systematic. When Rome defeated a rival, it did not simply destroy them. It absorbed them, granted partial citizenship, bound them by treaty, forced them into military service. Rome was building something unprecedented, a war machine fueled by incorporation. Yet in 390 BC, that machine shattered. From the north came the Gauls. Led by Brennus, warriors of the Senones tribe descended into central Italy. They met the Roman army at the Battle of the Allia. The result was catastrophic. The Roman legions broke, discipline collapsed, survivors fled. The road to Rome lay open. The Gauls entered the city. They looted it. They burned it. Only the Capitoline Hill held out, a last desperate refuge of defenders surrounded by devastation. According to Roman tradition, when the Gauls attempted a night assault, sacred geese in the temple of Juno sounded the alarm, saving the citadel from surprise. But heroism did not erase humiliation. Rome, battered and starving, agreed to pay ransom. Gold was weighed out before the Gallic leader. When the Romans protested that the scales were rigged, Brennus threw his sword upon them and uttered the words that would echo in Roman memory. Vae victis, woe to the conquered. Rome paid, and Rome remembered. This was more than a military defeat. It was a psychological wound. A lesson burned into the Roman mind. Never again. From that moment forward, Roman aggression hardened into something colder, more calculated. The city was rebuilt. Stronger walls, stricter discipline, deeper military reforms. The army evolved. Manipular formations replaced rigid phalanxes. Flexibility became a Roman weapon. Rome did not simply defend itself after the Gallic sack. It expanded relentlessly. Every threat was preempted. Every rival neutralized. Every border pushed outward. Fear had transformed Rome. The sack of the city became a foundational myth, a trauma that justified expansion. Conquest was no longer ambition. It was security. To the Romans, aggression was survival. And so the Republic marched. By the 3rd century BC, Rome controlled most of the Italian peninsula. What had once been a vulnerable city-state was now a regional hegemon. But beneath this expansion lay a deeper transformation. Rome had learned that defeat meant annihilation, that weakness invited invasion, that mercy could be fatal. Rome did not conquer the world because it was invincible. It conquered because it had once been humiliated. And humiliation in Rome was unforgivable.